While the popular temperature controlling BedJet has a loyal fan base, there are several worthwhile alternatives that will provide a cooler or warmer night's sleep based on your sleeping habits, budget, and tech preferences. Whether you're looking for a wider range of temperature control, a system that integrates with your current mattress a little more easily, or an entirely new mattress with all the bells and whistles, I'll tell you everything that you need to know about the best BedJet alternatives to check out. So if you've never heard of the BedJet, it's essentially a fan-based system that uses air that gets pumped underneath the fitted sheet of your mattress to either warm or cool the surface. In theory, it's supposed to affect the entire surface of the mattress. In my personal experience, it does not. Most of the heating and cooling is limited to the lower half of the bed, or the areas that are closest to the nozzle. So some of the alternatives that we're going to look at use water to conduct the temperature control, and they are more of a complete mattress surface solution. My absolute top recommendation for a BedJet alternative is the pod from 8 Sleep. I've used this, I have it on my bed currently, and I cannot recommend it highly enough. The pod fits over any mattress, but it affects the entire surface of your mattress. The pod from 8 Sleep uses essentially a water grid that covers the entire surface of your mattress to adjust the temperature across a 55-degree range. So no matter if you're a hot sleeper or a cold one, this will adjust to your needs, and you can also set it manually based on how you're feeling any particular night. One thing that I really love about this is it offers dual climate control. So each side of the bed can be adjusted independently of one another. So if you sleep with a partner, both of you can adjust your side of the bed however you want it to be adjusted. Whereas with the BedJet, you can do dual zone climate control, but you have to buy 2 units to achieve that. And it's not necessarily, the greatest on top of that. But the pod gives a lot more flexibility if you're interested in tracking your sleep cycles and your overall health, because the pod works with the Autopilot app, which is 8 Sleep's proprietary app, and it's a subscription, it's monthly, and it's not very expensive. But Autopilot provides automatic temperature control. It offers a vibration and thermal alarm. It'll even detect your snoring, and it provides clinical grade sleep and health tracking and reports. So, when I use the pod every day, the next day, I get a report on how my sleep was the night before. It'll tell me, what my breath rate was, how many times it adjusted the temperature for my body. And, it gives me a complete overview of my sleep, including a sleep grade. I get graded on my sleep every single night, which is kind of cool, especially if you enjoy data, you'll love what you get from Autopilot and the pod. The pod is better than BedJet if you prefer something that operates silently. If you don't enjoy the sensation of air against your skin or bedding, because again, the BedJet does use a fan to conduct its climate control. The pod is also better if you prefer precise temperature control on either side of the bed. And additionally, if you just prefer a sleeker look and feel to your bed environment in general, because you do see the BedJet, when it's kind of like hooked up, there is a lump wherever that nozzle is placed. Like, you're going to see it. So you don't see that at all with the pod from 8 Sleep. It's basically just a mattress cover that sits over the entire surface of your mattress, and the hub unit sits off to the side. And the hose that connects the hub to the mattress cover, I would say it's somewhere between 5 and 6 feet long. I actually have mine set up on the other side of my nightstand, so it's a little bit of a distance away from where my mattress is, and there's plenty of room to do that. Especially if you're somebody who is really looking to track your health and your sleep health specifically, the pod from 8 Sleep is your absolute best bet, because as the Autopilot runs the system night after night, and it learns more about you, and it follows your biometric data every night as you're sleeping, it really learns more about you, and it offers real-time monitoring, of your heart rate variability, breath rate, how much you're snoring, sleep disruptions, and just all of the things that kind of give you a better sense of how your sleep is affecting your health and how your health is affecting your sleep. So that alone makes this one of the best alternatives to BedJet, period. Overall, in my experience, the pod has just been fantastic, and it is a bit of an expense, but you can try it risk-free for 30 nights. 8 Sleep offers free shipping and returns, and that includes the return for any Autopilot membership that you've purchased. So if you get the pod and you get the Autopilot subscription, and then you decide that it's not for you, you can return the unit, but you also get your membership fee back also. The only real downsides to the 8 Sleep really is the cost. It is much more expensive compared to at least some of the alternatives that we're going to look at. And you do have to have an Autopilot membership for the first 12 months of ownership. And that covers 2 separate users per pod. So if you have a partner, one single Autopilot membership does cover you both. The other drawback is this is not available for twin size beds. It's really only limited to full queen, king, and California king. My next recommendation is the ChiliPad Cube. It's a bed cooling system that works pretty similarly to the 8 Sleep in that it uses water to conduct the temperature control. And the ChiliPad is a mattress pad that lays on top of your existing mattress, and it has the water that flows through the mattress pad to adjust the temperature cooler or warmer. The one benefit of the ChiliPad is that you can get whole bed sizes, and that offers dual zone control, but you can also get half sizes. So instead of covering the entire surface of the mattress, if you really only need it on one half, you can actually get a half queen, half king, and a half California king, along with the version that's made for 2, and it's got the full mattress cover. This also offers automatic temperature adjustments. It offers thermal warming, like as an alarm to trigger your body's wake response. There is an optional sleep tracker, and it works with Google Assistant. So, you do get a lot of similar data compared to the 8 Sleep. And the ChiliPad is better than the BedJet if you don't like the sensation of the fan against your skin while you sleep, if you need temperature control across the entire surface that you're sleeping on, and if you don't have the budget for the 8 Sleep pod. The app from Sleepme, the sleep and health coverage isn't as extensive as 8 Sleep's. But you also don't have to maintain the monthly Autopilot subscription to use it. So, there is a trade-off. If you're looking for more data and more insights into your sleep, the 8 Sleep pod is still going to be better. If you're really just looking for something to alter the temperature of your mattress without all of the bells and whistles, the ChiliPad might be better. And in my experience, I find this to be a lot more effective compared to the BedJet because, again, it changes the temperature of your entire sleep surface, not just the lower half. And, it doesn't use air to conduct the temperature control. It's controlled through water. So it's just a lot more of a comprehensive cooling and heating. Next up, we're looking at the Perfectly Snug Smart Topper from Perfectly Snug. This is a mattress pad that uses airflow to control the temperature of your sleeping environment, but it's through a thicker mattress topper pad. And this also offers single control for full and twin size beds and dual zone control for queen and king size beds. So you do have the option for dual climate control if you need it, or single if it's in a smaller bed. And the one benefit to this is the Perfectly Snug Smart Topper is available for twin size beds. It warms and cools silently. It provides automatic thermal regulation. And the biggest benefit to this really lies in its simplicity. There's pretty much no setup involved. You just place it on top of your mattress, put your sheet over it, and you're ready to go. The Smart Topper is controlled through an app or through the control panel that's on the side of the device. The Smart Topper from Perfectly Snug is better than BedJet if you need more precise temperature control. You prefer a mattress topper that uses air rather than water to cool and heat the surface. And if you need an option that offers foot heating only when needed, because the Smart Topper does have a foot warming setting if that's all you need. There are a few cons to this. It is a thicker mattress topper, so this could potentially affect the way your existing mattress feels underneath you. So, if you have a really firm mattress or a really soft mattress, you're going to be more likely to notice the feeling of this mattress topper. As you can see, it's a few inches thick. Whereas, the 8 Sleep Pod and the Cube from Sleepme are a lot thinner. With the Perfectly Snug, you're going to be likely to feel some difference to the surface of your mattress. And it's not exactly quiet on its higher settings because unlike the 8 Sleep Pod and the Sleepme Cube, the Perfectly Snug uses air to conduct the temperature control, which uses a fan. And as with most fans, the higher you have it turned on, the louder it's going to be. The Climate 360 from Sleep Number is the most expensive BedJet alternative on this list, but it is the best option if you're in the market for a new mattress, because this is an entire mattress set with an adjustable base. The benefits to the 360 is that you can adjust the temperature control dual zone across a 30-degree range to, from cooler to warmer, but it also lets you adjust the firmness of both sides of the bed. So especially if you sleep with a partner, this is going to allow you both to set your preferences as far as how firm or soft the mattress is, how cool or warm your side of the bed is, and it gives you a lot of flexibility as far as making your perfect night of sleep. It includes a smart adjustable base, it offers sleep tracking, and it can be operated through the app or remote control, depending on what you prefer. This is an investment and a half, really, but if you're in the market to upgrade your mattress, this is definitely one to consider closely when you're looking for temperature control and firmness control for your sleep surface. Now, the range of temperatures that are available with the Climate 360 are not as extensive as the 8 Sleep Pod or even the Cube from Sleepme. You only get about a 30-degree range with the sleep number. So if you really need to get down to like, 55 degrees Fahrenheit, which is pretty chilly, but if you need that cold of a surface, you're not going to find that with the sleep number. You will find that with the 8 Sleep Pod, however. So the Climate 360 really is best if you're looking to replace your current mattress. You need one that's going to give temperature control as well as adjustable firmness, and you don't need excessive cooling or heating flexibility. Really, the biggest benefit with this one is your ability to adjust the firmness on either side of the bed, which is something that none of the other BedJet alternatives that we've looked at can do. The pros definitely outweigh the cons, but the biggest con, of course, is the expense. This is not a cheap mattress. The smallest size, you're looking at a ballpark of, $9,000 to $10,000 for this one. My final recommendation is also the most budget friendly, and that's the Aquapad. This works similarly to 8 Sleep and the Sleepme Cube in that it uses water to conduct the temperature control across the mattress's surface, but without the bells and whistles. This is really a very simplified version of what the 8 Sleep Pod and the Sleepme Cube both offer. So it really isn't going to provide you with, a lot of the data as far as like you're sleeping. It's not really going to adjust itself overnight, based on what your body needs as you're sleeping. You can adjust the temperature control, of course, and it's got an auto shut off feature, and it does have overheating protection, but this is a very stripped down version of what the 8 Sleep Pod and the Sleepme Cube both do. So it's a good option if you're curious to see about how this type of temperature control system would work, because you can put this on your mattress, try it out, see how it feels, and later upgrade to something with a little more flexibility. But if you just need something that's very, very simple to use, something that's really inexpensive, especially if your budget doesn't allow for a pod from 8 Sleep or even the Sleepme Cube, this is a good option to try. It's definitely worth looking at. Now that we've looked at all of the top recommendations, my highest is the 8 Sleep Pod. I have it, I've been using it for weeks, and I've never slept better. And it's one of those things that I really didn't realize how badly I needed until I had it. And it's been exceptionally comfortable. The cover, even though it's hydro-powered, you don't feel it on your mattress. The pod cover doesn't affect the way your mattress feels. So it's going to feel like the mattress that you currently have. But the ability to adjust the climate on either side of the bed, my husband and I have been sleeping a lot more soundly and comfortably. And, just the benefit of getting all of the data on our night of sleep, the next day, every day, has been really insightful. So, for our needs, the pod has definitely been the very best, but all of these alternatives are worth exploring based on your personal needs and your preferences and your budget.